witches at black masses, evil minds that plot destruction, sorcerer of death's construction. In the fields, the bodies burning, as the war machine keeps turning.
Woo, that kind of stuck up on me. Hello. Hello. Hey, Carol. Hello, and welcome to Shaman Sundays. I am your host, Brandon Cooper. How's everybody? Good? So, I had a special guest that was going to come on, but unforeseen circumstances. We were going to have Kenny Irish, the cryptozoologist, on. But hello, Anne Marie. But last minute, I believe some family things came up, so it's us tonight. I hope that's okay with everybody. I know you don't tune in to see my gnomish self. Fan-fracking-tastic. Well, okay. There. I like that. That's the energy I'm talking about. So, my brain's fried. We did Sweat Lodge this weekend, and we'll go into more about that. But while we're starting off and people are coming in, something happened this weekend around here in the upstate South Carolina. I don't know if you guys have heard of it or not, but it's a little thing called a Paracon. We've got the Haunting at the Mill Paracon coming up this weekend, March 24th to the 26th. Something, I believe the weather's going to be really good. There's a little rain coming in, for 2 hours on Saturday, but it's also a 10-day forecast, so who knows? But Scott, you've always got one bar of signal, buddy. Oh, thank you, Carol. So if you haven't gotten your tickets yet, oh yeah, me too, Anne Marie. Hey, Dina. Please get your tickets or come out and just meet us, and we're selling tickets at the door. Anne Marie, if you're not doing anything, instead of watching, would you like to be interviewed tonight? Just let me know. So yeah, I'm super excited. Unfortunately, due to unforeseen circumstances, one of our great speakers had to bow out at the last minute. Mary Jo Chudley had to, something has come up. So unfortunately, she will not be there, but I may have somebody that is going to fill that spot. So you're just going to have to find out when you come out. Also, let's pitch Mama T while we're doing all the sponsors. Mama T's Herbs, as you see it scrolling down there at the bottom. Oh, big things are coming from Mama T. Big things. So what does she do? She oh my God. Sorry. It's one of those days. She is the only herbalist that I back. So I'm going to silence my phone. Sorry, guys. I'm a little discombobulated. I just turned it. Okay. Anyway, so she's the only herbalist that I back up. What does she do? Well, I'll tell you because I got a slide for that. I don't know nothing about birthing no babies, but she does because she's a doula. And not a doula oblongata either, but a doula. She also offers smoky blends, herbal tinctures, custom tinctures. Please reach out for anything that you need. www.mamatsherbs.com. We also have the smoky blends. Okay, no worries. We have smoky blends that are out. Hey, Becky. And they are available on the website now. They are called Shaman Smokes. I hope you like them. We made them together, and I know one eye is doing this weird thing, this little blinky thing. Looks like I took Dayquil and NyQuil at the same time. So just don't mind that. I'm having issues with my contacts. So we're just going to drag through this. It's always a train wreck here at Shaman Sundays, but you know what? It's my train wreck, and I love it. Did do your smudging. Thank you. Yeah, I need to do that. Ricky! Don't leave me, Ricky. So, as always, the reason why my show is on Sundays is because we like to start our week off really good. So, I always light the sage, and I sometimes forget if it's not for Carol to light the sage. What we're going to do, we're going to put all that positive energy straight forward to this coming week, and just get rid of all the crap that we're taking with us. So thank you for reminding me, Carol. Becky, I'm excited too. I'm super excited. So I had the whole show planned to talk about cryptids, and Scott is a handsome man. Thank you for reminding me. Scott, with your one bar out there heading towards Whisper Estates, you are a handsome man. So now I'm kind of having to come up with this on the fly. So if there's anybody that would like to be interviewed, just put a comment up. If not, what we're going to talk about is what I feel like we need to talk about is boundaries. I feel that people need to know about their boundaries. So, boundaries are good. Yeah, we were going to talk about Bigfoot, Ricky, and that's like all up your alley. However, we will have Kenny Irish rescheduled for the next couple of weeks. You guys will love that. So I guess we're going to do boundaries. Some of us need to learn how to stick to our boundaries. Boundaries are extremely difficult to do. But they're also safe. They're good. Whenever anything happens and we let our boundaries down, then we regret it. I did a sweat lodge this weekend, and also it was my wife's very first sweat lodge. She made it all 5 rounds, ladies and gentlemen. So give her a little round of applause or whatever you feel like doing, because not only were we cooking vegetables up on top of the mountain, we were cooking people. So it was a wonderful time, but it also brought up, while I was doing it, boundaries. Sometimes you have to stick to them. It's good. The people that get mad about you setting up your boundaries are the people that have no boundaries themselves. Sweat lodge. Hey, Dina, you want to be interviewed on my show? Because you're like a freaking awesome interview. So, Sweat Lodge, the most I can tell you about is it's a small dome-shaped structure. In the middle is a little pit dug out. We put extremely hot rocks from a sacred fire that is built earlier in the day. We all join in. There's some sacred medicine that happens. And we run it really hot. Now, the reason why it's hot in there, and people ask all the time, why is it so hot? Well, it's because you have to let go. That heat makes you have to let go. What runs a lot of people out of a sweat lodge is it's not the heat, it's the fear. And then the fear comes up, and that's going to run you out. Well, if you can sit through and make it through the fear, okay, thank you. Then that's when the transformation really happens. That's when spirits can get in there and talk to you. And they talk to me a lot about boundaries, and a lot. This was an amazing weekend, not only for that I had the honor to be the firekeeper for my wife's very first sweat lodge, but a lot of things happened. There was a lot of healing up there. We had a group come through. Oh, and it was great. But back to boundaries. Yes, it is a great topic. Thank you. Because I mean, if you don't stick to them, you're just going to get run over and over and over again. Like some people say that they don't like drama. Well, set a boundary that you don't want to be in any drama or hatred or hate speech or anything and stick to it. Yeah, it's going to piss people off, but those are the people that you probably have to set the boundaries up for. One boundary may be I'm not going to say a word about a certain situation or whatever. One boundary may be, I can't be around my mother or my father because they're toxic. Well, sometimes, when you set those boundaries, even with family or friends, it's going to piss them off because they no longer have access to you and they no longer have a way to manipulate you. And let them be mad. It's okay. Because it's at the end of the day, you have to lay down with yourself. It's you that's got to sleep with it. It's you that's got to, deal with it. So, and my wife, hey, hello, honey. The only people who generally get mad about boundaries are the ones who want to step on them and cross them. That is correct. So and we can open up the comment section too. Like, who else struggles with boundaries? And if you have any questions about or need any advice towards setting boundaries, keeping boundaries, or anything, I am more than happy to answer those. Like I say, this is just kind of a you and me show. I haven't done one of these unless Dina comes in, which I hope she does. But I haven't done one of these just us shows in about 2 years. The whole premise when I started Shaman Sundays was to try to give advice and some shamanic wisdom. But then it turned into I have some really cool friends and I wanted to interview them. So, awesome. But I need to set, okay, Becky, I need to set boundaries better, to be honest. You know me. Well, yeah, I do. And that's a good boundary. Honesty also is another buzzword that kicks the hornet's nest because some people don't want to hear your honesty. They want to live in their own little fantasy world, and they don't want to be touched by the truth because the truth hurts and the truth angers, and it's okay. Because like I said, at the end of the day, you have to lay down with yourself. You have to I told this to a friend of mine the other day who called for some advice. You have to let your own light shine. The best way to find your way in the dark and to show others how to get out of the dark is to let your own light shine. People will come to you, flock to you because of your truth and your light, Becky. But that goes for everybody. I mean, you can only be who you are at the end of the day. And if you're not your true self will keep kicking and scratching. Truth angers those who like to lie. Well, the lie doesn't like the truth, and the truth doesn't care about your feelings. I know it's said a lot in political realms and whatever, and I don't get into that. But it is a good saying because the truth really doesn't care about your feelings. Because the truth needs to be heard. Let's see. Linda Judd says, being disorganized ultimately causes me anxiety. So I think that's a boundary problem. It is. Because, and it's a boundary problem with you personally. And I'm not saying anything wrong with you, but you're stepping over your own boundary if you do not like being disorganized. And yet you let yourself get disorganized in whatever manner it may be. You're stepping on your own boundaries, and that's the worst kind. You want to keep your own boundaries. But start small, Linda. I don't know like what type of disorganization, but go to like the dollar store if it's like things, and get you a little organizer. And I'm the worst to tell anybody how to organize. If you saw my work desk, it's pretty bad. But find you something small to organize, and then that's your first step to setting that boundary. Oh, my wife says, laugh out loud. A dear friend of mine listened to me describe a scenario that was frustrating me and replied, so what you're saying is you have trouble defending your boundaries. Yeah, sounds familiar. Uh, and then Linda says, especially those who wear a mask to the world. Yeah, but if we're going to talk about people that wear masks, we also have to turn the mirror onto ourselves. Oh, because how many of us wear a mask that we don't want to wear, but we think that this mask is what the people at work want me to be? Or how many multiple masks for that matter? This mask I'm going to wear for, my family. This is what they wanted to see. So, and this just goes back to the truth 100%. When we talk about people that wear masks, you got to look in the mirror and be like, well, what mask am I wearing? What am I doing? The path to inner enlightenment starts with yourself. I mean, it's cliche, it's said over and over, but it's true. I mean, why don't you take your mask off first? I have to remind myself that on a daily basis because I have that old mask that I wore, and so it is a struggle. What do we got? Tabitha, yep, work mask. Most people do have a work mask. Your group of people will find you if you are truly yourself. And Scott, not only are you a handsome man, but you're a smart man. Oh, the circle of friends that I have had within the last, I'm coming up on 2 years of sobriety. So in the last 2 years, the circle of people that I've gotten in my life are actually like true friends. And I wouldn't have ever gotten that until I started turning the mirror on myself. So he's right. If you put your own light out there, they'll find you because or as I like to say, their demons get along with my demons. I mean, hello, Tracy. Happy Sunday. Okay. Oh, wait. My comment in the mask was in response to the truth angers those that lie. I went off on a tangent. Sorry, Linda. But I mean, it did bring up a good point. But yeah, I mean, the lies demand a mask. Oh, because you got to hide behind something. Oh, see, the truth doesn't need one because the truth is its own light. It needs no definition. It needs no defending. Oh, so yeah, those that lie, oh, are definitely mask wearers. And that being said, also, people that lie, you can't take it personally. Nothing in this world is personal, at least in my opinion. And there's a great book out there. And if any of y'all have taken Sarah Lee Moses' classes, she mentions this book. It's the 4 Agreements. And I will try to look up. I can't remember who it's by. And I have the book downstairs. I should know this by now. And one of those agreements is never take anything personally, which is really good piece of advice because, when you stop taking things personal, they hurt less because people are going to lash out at you because of something somebody else did. You're just a convenient target. So if you stop hey Greg, if you stop taking things personally when people attack your character or lie to you. They're lying to try to hide something for them. They're not lying to hurt you. So that's one thing, and I try to work on too. Is don't take anything personally. Thank you, babe. The author is Don Miguel Ruiz for the Four Agreements. I highly, I need to add that to the shaman's list of books. It's a very good book. The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. If you haven't read it or audibled it, well worth it. Great book. And I'm going to go into that at one of my on a show at some point because it's great. Greg here says taking it off makes you freer. So true. Because then, the mask and the lies and all that, well, that's a bunch you got to keep up with. Because if you're going to keep a lie straight, it's a tangled web and it's a lot you got to keep up with. But when you take the mask off and you set your boundaries, like Becky said, to be more honest, it's just a whole lot easier. And for people like me that's got traumatic brain injury and can't remember anything, the truth is so much easier to remember. Let's see. Let me catch up on some comments here. You don't have to remember. Wow. I just picked yours out of random. We're on the same wavelength, Anne-Marie. We got Carol here. I never use a mask. I am who I am. Don't ever cover me up. And see, that's such positivity. Flaws and all, I like to show because it means I'm human. Nobody's perfect. On this eye, I got the Forrest Whitaker eye going. This is weird. I feel like I need to be in a dramatic war movie or something. Sorry, not sorry. My wife says it is a must read. Yes, it is such a great book. We listened to it. We did the Audible thing, and we listened to it coming back from South Dakota or something. And it was amazing. Tabitha says, oh, look, Dina is coming on. We're going to pick her. There you are.
Kimosabe.
Actually, no, we're getting into a good one, and I think you're going to have plenty of advice on the
I gotta move my thing.
I say so. Tabitha says, yeah, I should be able to walk into work with full disclosure. However, talking about your past can get you hurt or treated differently. And again, that just goes back to you don't ever take anything personal. People are going to attack what they don't know. They're not attacking you. They're attacking something they don't know.
What they've been programmed to think.
Right. And so I think, Dina, thank you so much, first of all, for jumping on last minute.
I love it. Thank you. An honor.
Yeah. And I think we're gonna go down this path of
Kim.
kind of where we're going with masks and boundaries and stuff, because I know you're gonna have plenty of wonderful insight on such topics.
It's a good thing I got a hair tie. I'll bind my tongue and not say a lot of stuff I'm not allowed to say.
Well, yeah.
Hey, Scott, you got Carol. You got you get the whole family on here.
Yeah, of course. I couldn't look at myself in the mirror if I wasn't true to myself. Yeah, it's true. So what do you think, Dina, about appropriate boundaries? Because there's a difference between appropriate boundaries and like restrictive boundaries and stuff. How do you set yours?
Well, I've been through a lot in this world. I've been through a lot in this world. And I think that in some ways, what my boundaries are is it's based on maybe experience, like what I've been through and what I think another person, how I try to always think how another person will receive what I say. Like just because I say something and I mean it this way, and it's especially difficult if it's in typing or messaging and writing, but if I say something a certain way, my mind and my spirit might be saying it from a different perspective than what somebody else has interpreted it, because I don't know what they've been through. I don't know what experiences they've had, but there are certain things. I mean, of course, I think common sense needs to come into play, but there's not
Yeah.
a lot of that out there.
And doesn't grow in every garden, that's for sure.
If it does,
I mean, it's definitely under fertilized in that garden.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it is. I see a lot of it. I try sometimes. Also, something that I do is, and this is, I guess, comes from the experience part of what I've been through, is I mean, I don't know if it's a selfish perspective or what, but sometimes even if I know I'm right about something, sometimes I'll sit back and I'll go, do I really have the energy or the interest or even the desire to engage in this conversation? Like, what am I going to get out of it? How's it going to benefit? And how's it going to go anyway? Like, is this going to affect or cause like anything positive? So sometimes I might be right about something. I might want to say what I think about something, but it's just, when you weigh and measure it, it's like, why bother?
Yeah. Is it worth kicking a hornet's nest with somebody that is ignorant on the actual truth of the matter?
Yeah,
And
right.
that's a good boundary.
Yeah. And you know what? Actually, I personally kind of made that mistake today. I had a gentleman that I saw on TikTok, and he was making some posts, and I won't go into what the topic was, but he was trying to appropriate some of the individuals that were in his post as being, how should I say? It was kind of almost hard to not say what it is. There was many different individuals, but one of the individuals happened to be an ancestral line of mine, and he was trying to say that basically all of these people, are not white. And I was like, well, I don't know about the other ones, but now I know about this one. And I'm going to tell you what, I mean, it was an all on engaged conversation all day. Finally, I've even turned off the notifications. I don't answer it anymore or anything else. And in some ways, I feel like I failed my own boundary there, because I should have looked and seen that it was a lose-lose conversation. I wasn't going to win anything out of that conversation having with this person, because they'd already made up their mind. And
Right.
sometimes I think that's, yeah, that should be a choice.
Well, yeah, and discernment is a great name for a boundary, because sometimes you need to know when to
Yes.
shut up, and sometimes you need to know when to not shut up.
I took that one hook, line, and sinker.
I mean, it happens to the best of us. We're only human, but it's as long as you better yourself with your boundaries, I think. In my opinion, in setting boundaries, I don't care what the other person's going to think about my boundaries.
Yeah.
I'm having to stretch, work out some of my boundaries right now, but in the end, it's about me. It's about how I feel. If the person can't see through, my intent, then I really don't care what they do. It's about my peace, your peace, the viewer's peace, and so that's a really good. I think that's a good boundary too.
I do agree with that. Actually, I have a gentleman today, and this is kind of like a silly kind of thing, and it kind of goes back to the social media thing. I had someone today, and went and looked. I mean, we've got like 40 something friends in common, and the friends are actually good friends. I'm probably that person. I'm sorry. I'm guilty of it. I'm that person that'll sit there and I look and see who they're friends with, and I'm like, drugs. Yeah, no, I'm not adding you, so I won't because of that. But this person, the very first thing they did was get in my messenger and send me a kissy emoji. So I went back and unfriended him.
Well, I mean, yeah.
I'm like, yeah, there you go. There's my boundary. I'm not putting up with that crap.
Well, I don't know if the viewers know, but there's weirdos on the internet. I know.
Oh, yeah.
I know that's a new thing. It's never happened before, but believe it or not, there's really weird people. I'm not telling anybody nothing they don't know.
Yeah, I think people that's a smart thing that you just said there, though. I think people really, they need to remind themselves that, because we know it, but then people can be so personable, sometimes then you end up forgetting, or like, oh, wow, man, they're posting some really funny memes. And then they get in that, the side door of like humor or something.
Right.
What she said,
But
speaking of,
yeah, and Anna says not everyone is entitled to all of you. Not letting everyone have full access to personal you is also a boundary and not the same as pressing a falsehood. Very true.
yeah, I agree with that. Who said that? That was a smart statement. Whoever said
That's
that,
my
I
wife.
agree.
That's my
Oh,
wife.
I couldn't see. Hey, yeah, I agree, Anna. Yeah, right on right there. Matter of fact, a lot of people need to handle that, whether it's family, whether it's friends or anything like that. It gets tiring. I remember my grandma, one of the first lessons that I learned in life about setting boundaries is, God love him. Please, God, don't let him ever watch this podcast. But I have a cousin, and he would come over nonstop. And of course, my grandma was trying to get this done and get that done. Well, her youngest son was almost the age of the cousins, so to speak. So he wanted to come and visit it. And I remember
Hi,
grandma,
Denny.
when you came into her house, she had a front door, and then you could go up the stairs, or there was another door that would go into the downstairs area. So she slipped over there and she quietly shut that side door when he was knocking on the door. And she said, "Don't you dare tell him I'm here. You be quiet. I'm going to act like I'm not here." She said, "I read this article in Ann Landers that said, it's your front door. If you don't want to answer it, don't answer it, no matter who it is." And that's the first time when I seen my grandma do it, I thought, it's all right. She's not answering the door for one of the cousins. So, that's, at times you could have to say no, or, go do
Right.
your own thing or be yourself. Maybe you need time just to go walk in the woods, and somebody's like, "Well, but man, I got to move." Yeah, but I have to go do this for me.
Yep. And that's huge when you can. That's a very big boundary that I have put up. If I need me time, I'm gonna get it. I don't care what's going on around me or whatever. This is me time. I need to, I if I have to unwind, well, I'm going to. I
Yeah.
think Linda said,
Oh,
I
hey,
can't
Graham.
help it. I can't help but taking it personally, but then again, I'm too open and real, too trusting, and I always get burned. Linda, you got to set a boundary to not get burned. I mean, if we're all family here, we're all going to be honest. That's a boundary you have to set. You let yourself always get burned. Um, if this statement is correct, which I know it is, that you can't help but take it personally. Well, yes, you can, and it all starts on the inside by saying, "I am not going to take this personally." It is. It's hard to do. It's a lot. It's a lot of steps, but it all starts with you. You can stop getting burned if you wanted. You just gotta put in the personal work, And I'm not attacking you by any means, but Dina, what do you think?
Yeah, actually, I agree with exactly what you said. You said it very well. Um, if you feel offense by something, and I think you said it was Linda that said that, if you feel offense by
Yep.
something, offense is actually something that you're going through within yourself. So you yourself are the one that's in control of that offense. So if something's really bothering you, especially, to a certain point, then you're being offended by allowing that action to happen. At some point, you just, like you said, you got to put up your boundaries.
Right.
I
And
mean,
when you get burned or you get offended or you get angry at somebody else, well, you just gave them power. You just gave them the biggest power over you, rent free. Um,
right.
I mean, and the truth hurts sometimes, and we're just gonna talk truth because we're family. But a lot of this starts with you, with me. With you know your feelings. You should never have to apologize for your feelings. I think my feelings are my feelings and mine alone. However, it is your job and is your duty to examine these feelings. Why am I feeling this way? Not, oh,
Yes.
this person made me mad. Really? No, you let this person make you mad. So examine that emotion. Why did it make you mad? And then if you start looking at things like that, it's easier. It's easier to not take offense because you're letting it happen to yourself.
Right. I agree with that. And also at that same time, I think that also, and I did have to learn the hard way. Also, I think it's one of those things where you still have to even go back and say, you know, how much of my energy am I willing to put into this being offended? I mean, I've seen people. I mean, I know one actually. I'm been waist deep in court papers for days. There's certain people that they allowed actions or of another person bother them so long that years later they're still regurgitating and being offended by this. And it's like, dude, that was 3 or 4 years ago. How can you still be this upset and stuff about it? At this point, you've not seen this person in 3 years. So
Right.
it is like you said, at some point you've got to work it through yourself.
Well, and when you hold on to stuff like that, that's like you drinking poison, hoping the other person dies.
That is true.
I mean, it is. So why put that poison in yourself? That when I say it like that, I mean, does it
That
not
is
make
true.
sense, people?
And it's really toxic. I mean, it's like really, it's not healthy to hold on to that stuff, man. Get it gone. But now
Yep.
but when it comes to boundaries though, it's also toxic and not healthy to let someone keep crossing your boundaries and crossing your boundaries. And sometimes, I mean, I've had people, one person that comes to mind, and God love her, she's well intentioned, but she doesn't realize what she does. She comes at you with she wants to help you do this. And I have events and stuff. So a lot of times, like, oh, well, just let me help you. Please don't let her watch us either. But it's one of those,
Nobody
I want
watches
to
my
just
show.
let me.
You're fine.
Yeah, they do. But and a lot of times it'll be situations like she'll just show up with like, oh, I thought these would be great for your benefit. And you're like, no. Or I thought this would be great for this event. And it's like at some point you have to stop. I think it's like steamrollering. At some point you have to stop it. And it's kind of like they end up taking your energy that you need for something else by supposedly helping you. But it's not about helping you. It's about them getting your attention, which
It's
is crossing
and
boundary.
some people do it as in I think this would be great for you. No, it's hey, look at me, I'm doing something.
Yeah.
But again, if we're going to stick with the don't take anything personal, why do they need to seek this attention?
You're right,
What is
Carol.
what are they doing? Carol says, never give up your power over yourself to anyone. It's true. But, like I say, why are they doing that? And then if you look at, they're seeking this attention for a reason that has absolutely nothing to do with me. Okay, not personal.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I mean,
I can no longer keep up with all of these comments. So,
but now sometimes, I don't know. I think it might really just depend. There are certain situations. That's where your keyword discernment comes into play. There are certain situations that I think maybe you ought to take it personal. Like, at some point, stop is stop, no is no, and
well, and that's fine. That's just setting up your
yeah,
boundaries, but that's not personal.
yeah, yeah. I guess you're right.
That's why I say never take anything personal. Whatever they feel, okay, that's on them. This is my boundary. I will not step out of it. What you're doing is what you were doing. It has nothing to do with me. That's why I say take nothing personal, except for what you do to yourself. That you're in control of this.
Yeah.
Sometimes
what you integrate within you. That is, I don't know. There's sometimes I'll walk around. Actually, the funny thing, I was on the phone yesterday and I went like this because I wanted to be able to see. And when it did, it made a clicking sound. And I realized, oh, there's my other pair of glasses. So I had it. And then I was, oh, there's the other. So I actually had 2 pairs of glasses on here and then the one on my face. So I had 3 pairs of glasses on my head. So sometimes I don't have a clue what I'm doing.
And sometimes I think that's our brain's defense mechanism of going, there's way too much stupidity happening. I'm going to check out.
I think that a part of that was speaking of, yeah, I think it was a way of, yeah, I needed to focus and I needed to set boundaries.
Right.
Or I wouldn't have been that busy.
Exactly.
That's why that happened.
And you can't take that personal.
No, you can't.
if you give people more of your time than you're willing to give, they will take more and more, and they will eat it alive until they have
Absolutely.
drained every last bit of whatever they can get from you for free, and then they'll move on to the next person.
That is absolutely verbatim. That is true. There's a lady right down here, and I was just being nice, and I was going to help her move, and I'll be daggone if, of course, she didn't turn around after that. She broke her foot. So then I felt obliged to be nice and help her. But then I started noticing, she would ask me to do more of this. Can you help me make my bed? Can you help me do this? Can you help me clean? And it's like, well, I'm the proper, residential property manager stuff, but it's not really my job to be doing these things. And I'm thinking, well, the line's kind of getting blurred here. Well, then it got to the point to where one day I went out and took out my garbage, and she had gotten to where, and I understand the foot was broke, but she had two other people helping her too. And I work a couple jobs. She had put her garbage on the lawn chair, and she got upset because I didn't automatically see her garbage on the lawn chair and take it upon myself to take her garbage out to the curb. I'm thinking, you guys, yeah, that's where you're exactly right about that. They'll push you and push you. And there's some people that, they're not going to stop pushing.
Hey, Phoenix. Yeah, they're not.
Hey, Phoenix.
And now.
Congrats on that pretty baby. She's got a new grandbaby.
Oh, I was like, oh. I am so out of
too. She's tiny and cute.
But now,
Linda Judge, she needs in-home help. She needs psychiatric help. I can tell you a lot more about this lady. Or psychological. Be psychological.
No, but Anne-Marie, I'm gonna start your comment because I was talking about something like that earlier today, and I'm gonna come back to it. But if we take your story about help me move and then help me do this. If we would have had healthy boundaries set in place already, it would have never gotten to that place.
Yep. I made a huge mistake there. I did.
And unfortunately, your boundaries are for everyone, not just pick and choose, because once you let that boundary down, you have to keep your boundary for your family, your friends, your kids, whatever this boundary is. Because once it goes down, it's so much harder to rebuild.
Exactly. And then people will get offended about you like she did. They will get extremely offended about you not continuing to let them cross the boundaries, just like you said.
Yeah, and it's nothing personal. They're missing something, or they're having some reason why they need all this attention. Well,
that is true.
Yeah, it's nothing personal. But it's just something that they need. They saw they could get it from you for free and just take all of it. So
that is true.
Let's get back. See, this is why I don't do shaman shows where it's just me, because I'll get deep and then we just don't have fun anymore because it's serious. So Anne-Marie says, sometimes people can only see things from their perspective. I was in a shop earlier. My wife and I were in Chimney Rock, North Carolina. It's called Featherheads. I want to give a shout out to Kim if she is watching this, the owner of Featherheads. Amazing Native American and metaphysical shop. It's been there for 30 years. So I want to say hello to her if she is watching. But we were talking about, we got on the subject of perspective and the way that, and it is true, people see things from their perspective. Is it a 6? And I sum it up like this. Is it a 6 or a 9? Well, it depends on what side you're standing on.
That's true.
Yeah.
So
it is true that people see from their perspectives. However, again, not personal, because that's their perspective.
Yeah, it's through their experience and their and maybe even their gluttony. Sometimes people, they know right from wrong, but they'll push it just because, like you're saying, their perspective is they want more. Kathy said it's hard to say no sometimes.
Hey, Kathy, watch. Ready? No. It's the shortest word to spell and the hardest word to say.
No, nix. Nada.
Yeah, 9.
9.
Pick a language. It is the hardest thing to say because inside of you, there's a reason why you feel like you cannot say no. So, what is it that's eating you alive that makes you feel that you can't say no? And then get to the root of that problem.
Yeah, I think you're right. And it may be a different answer for different people too.
It is. And it's, like I said, the
Yeah.
only time anything can be taken personal is when you're doing an introspective look inside yourself. Now, that being said, nobody can talk as nasty to us as we do.
Yeah.
So how we talk to ourselves. Yeah, I wouldn't let somebody else say some of the
And the
things.
self always listens.
Yep.
Sure does.
This is where you change your.
And the universe listens to us when we're talking about ourselves like that too.
This is where you change your vocabulary. Like the word "want," I want. That's negative. That's a negative word. But Brandon, how is "I want" negative? How about "I will"? Blah blah blah. Because if you want something, that means you don't have it and you can't get it. I will spend $300 at Featherheads today.
Yeah.
And we did.
I will, or thank you for.
Yeah. So instead of I want to be more honest or I want to set boundaries, I will be more honest. I will set boundaries because, only we can set the tone for our day. And, I wake up, and even though sometimes I don't want to, but I'm like, I will have a great day today. And guess what happens? By the end of that day, I've had a great day. Now, if I wake up and be like, this is going to be a shit day, well, guess what? I've stepped all in it.
Yep, self-fulfilling.
Yeah, life is a self-fulfilling prophecy, and you are the prophet.
And you know what? Anna made a very good point here. People think they are entitled to your justification for no, and says they aren't. You are absolutely right. And usually, almost verbatim, the word no is followed by why or why not or but. And and even if someone says I'm sorry, but I mean all of those are deal breakers.
Yeah.
To me, if somebody asks me and I tell them no, and they say yeah, but it's going to be twice as hard for them to get me to help, next time, because it's like, why did you just push me? No was no. I don't have to really give you an explanation. I think that right there is crossing a boundary, like a personal boundary too, when they say why. Who knows what it is that you have to do? There might be something very personal, or you're helping somebody else with something very personal. And
and I've gone to the childish level with people that say why. And I just look at them. I don't care if they're an adult, and I'll say, because I said so.
Yeah, I finally had to do that day before. I have a friend that, she committed. And a lot of people want to know how she passed, like what happened. She was healthy and all this and that. They know that I know, and I can't begin to tell you how my messenger has blown up with people wanting me to answer that question that I made a promise I was not going to answer. And I've upset a lot of people in the last few days. But the thing is that my boundary is I said no. And I've had a couple of them. Oh, I won't say anything. Just let me know.
Of course you will.
Or why won't you tell me? And why won't I tell you? Well, the last 4 messages that you messaged me after I said no is the reason. It's like, no.
Yeah. I mean, generally people answer their own questions about no. Yeah. No, but that's one reason why I said no right there. But that's the second reason. Second reason I said no right there. So
I'm gonna start doing that.
It is, and okay, and in some circles that makes me an asshole. Well, so be it, because my peace is my peace. I will do whatever it takes to protect my peace, and that's why we have in the start of the show, protect your peace.
Yeah.
And, because you have to. That's all you got.
Yeah. Yeah, and for people to question it, I mean, it's like almost like, you don't know what's going on in somebody else's life. It's devaluing whatever that person has over here that's the unknown to us, it's devaluing whatever that is to them, because we're saying still, no matter what, we don't even know what's going on over here, but still what we're doing is more valuable than whatever your no is. And that's pretty uncool.
Yeah,
in my
because you
opinion.
know what? Whatever I'm doing is more valuable than whatever you're doing. Because I'm the most valuable person to me. That doesn't
Yeah.
mean that
And
you can't love, and but it all starts with you. If you can't love yourself, then you sure as hell can't love anybody else.
no, right, exactly. And actually, I think that also at the same time is it also in my ways it kind of like devalues your character, so to speak, when somebody keeps pushing you as though somehow they don't feel that you're a fair enough person to be fair about making and thinking and weighing what the options are or whatever's going on. It's almost like they don't think that you haven't taken the time to consider before you just say no. I take a lot of time and think about it before I tell somebody no.
Well, yeah. And
Yeah,
just
so
like Anne Marie Young set their boundaries at the beginning, she said no at the beginning of this show. She told me no. Good for you.
stop being a people pleaser.
Right, if I was laying down watching a show too, I would not want to come on either. I don't blame you one bit. But it doesn't matter if somebody else does not like your no, or and people are going to, with your boundaries, when you keep your boundaries, people are going to smear you. They're going
Oh
to
yeah.
smear your name. They're going to say stuff about you.
Yep.
And that's okay, because it's not personal.
Yep. I've actually explained that to my daughter. She has an ex who her and her mother and them, and they're like, it's just like a little group. And she really, a matter of fact, you talk about somebody that's been traumatized. This kid's been through so much from this relationship. And I have tried to explain to her that it doesn't really matter what they say. It's not true, right? Well, yeah, but it's not true though, right? Well, yeah, but okay, so they've told these other people. How do those people affect your life either? They don't affect your life at all, do they? Yeah, but people, who cares? I said the right people will know what's right and what's true. I said the rest of them, who cares? I said they don't pay your bills. They don't affect your life. They're
No.
they're not the ones making, your dinner at night. Worry about this, and who cares about the gossip, because the right people will find out the truth, and the other ones aren't going to really matter.
The people who read or
Anna
hear
said that part.
the gossip or whatever you want to call it, and they believe it, well, are they your friends anyway? No, they're not.
Bam, right there, that. Yeah, that right there.
It's the easiest way to close your inner circle to the truth, is let some gossip or some smearing get out there and sit back and watch.
Yep.
I mean,
Verbatim.
sometimes, just be still. And it says it in the Bible. Just be still.
Yeah, verbatim.
Well, I'm just saying. Just listen. And let's do a little humor here real quick before we go to break. So the Don says, Brandon, when I say no, you have those gnome eyes and get your way. That's right. I do have my gnome eyes. Except for right now when I've got the Forrest Whitaker eye going on.
It's one of those.
Yeah, I swear it looks, like I said at the beginning of the show, it looks like I took Dayquil and NyQuil at the same time.
My allergies have been, and the trees haven't even started yet. So I don't know. The trees haven't started yet. Carol said, I will quit smoking. Hey, that's yes. Name it and claim it. Name it, claim it, walk it.
And I guess I might as well say this on the podcast. I'll be right there with you April 1st. I have a quit date of April 1st. I know it's April Fool's Day, but I'm serious about this.
That's kind of perfect, actually.
Yeah.
I know my mom, she had gotten a I don't think it was like some sort of strain, like a bacterial infection, but she'd smoked her whole life. And I'm telling you, my mom had, she had addictions off and on for, just something that happened in life. She's in the 70s. And her doctor had prescribed her, she had horrible migraines, and he gave her some nose spray. And they say the Stado was like the most addictive medicine ever. But I'm telling you what, she got herself off of that cold turkey, even with the migraines, cold turkey. And she still struggled with cigarettes. And I was like, man, mom, and my brother was giving her a hard time. She said, you know what? I beat the baddest ass drug that's out there. She said, and when I tell you it's hard to quit these, it's hard. She says, but I'll quit them. She says, and I know that I'll do it. She says, I've made up my mind. And so she did. I tell you what, her respiratory doctor surprised me, though. He told us about how the lungs regenerate and stuff, and they regenerate fast. And it was within less than a year, he told her to start writing down non-smoker. He said, your lungs, they heal that quickly. So, yeah, you guys will heal quick.
And,
don't do the vapes.
No, God, no. And that was merely, instead of I want to quit, she said, I will quit.
Yep. She said,
I will.
It's
all the way in the words. And I guess Anna is describing why my eyes are like that. Shaman's wife got jokes. I know I'm getting ready to. So she did say, after Sweat Lodge, I did have gravel in my contact lenses. So that's one reason. And then she goes down to, where was the other one? And yes, and we had gravel in the sheets too. I had gravel coming out everywhere. It was horrible. So yes, that is one reason why my eye is like this. And yes, I have an eye appointment for Monday. So we are coming up on a break. Hey, Godfather, why don't you put hashtag protect your peace? And what I will do is I will give away a copy of the 4 Agreements, the book that I had mentioned earlier. Which is have you read the 4 Agreements yet, Dana?
No, I haven't actually.
Oh my God, you need to read this book. It is by Miguel Ruiz. It's in here in the comments. I get the name mixed up.
Yeah,
and one of the 4 agreements is don't take anything personal. So, I mean, just remember, guys, hashtag protect your peace.
I'll have to look that up.
All lowercase. Yeah. Oh, it's an amazing shamanic. It's a Toltec shamanic view. So it's a really good.
I probably will like that then.
Yep. Hashtag protect your peace, all lowercase. We're probably going to take about a 7-8 minute break here in about a minute and a half. Who's going to bed? I see somebody. Greg says, sleep well, lady. Who's going to bed? You got to stay up. We're talking about boundaries. There's no sleep in the boundaries.
No sleep for you.
None. And also, I guess since he says that I'm going to be running after Ricky again, I did say that I have a new series called Scott, It's For You, but I forgot to upload that video. So you're going to have to wait till next week for the next episode of Scott, It's For You. Those are hilarious. Those are hilarious little Ring videos. If you ever invite me to your house and you have a Ring camera, just be careful. Because I'm just telling you.
We're not buying any.
I want to clean your house. I want to clean your house.
Not for sale. Not for sale.
I want to clean your house.
Yep, that was episode 1 of Scott, It's For You. This is what happens when I'm at Scott and Kimberly Horn's house. Jeff, hello, Goat. The Goat is here. That book is the 4 Agreements. Oh, and I got it. The 4 Agreements, yes. So please stay tuned for this very special. I had no clue what this episode was going to be about, but it's turning out pretty good. We're getting some stuff handled. So please stay tuned after the break, and we'll see you guys in about 8 minutes. So please stay tuned. Oh, we're back. I was rocking out to that cool music. So I'm gonna tell a quick story real fast before we jump back in this. So there was a scientific study done where they took like oak tree seeds and they tried to grow the oak trees encased in glass, and they would grow a little bit, but they kept falling over. And then they would grow and they'd fall over. And what they realized is the oak tree could not grow strong and withstand stuff without the wind and the thunder and the storms.
Yep.
This is much like all of us. We're not going to grow if all the times were great, we wouldn't grow. So boundaries.
Yeah, I've heard of that. I've heard of that experiment too. Sure did. It did happen.
And
That's legit.
We all have seasons in our life too, and then we'll get back to boundaries. And an oak tree is a beautiful tree and a strong tree, but it doesn't get that way unless it gets beat up a little bit. We all have seasons in our lives. Some seasons are for planting, some for harvest, but you're not going to get to harvest unless you go through the storms and get rained on. Just a thought to put it out there. So let's try to catch up on some. We got any comments that I missed?
Well, the oak tree is kind of cool because the oak tree represents, because I'm Bandri or a druid, and the oak tree represents like longevity and strength and stability and endurance and fertility and power. So just like what you said, you want to get to that, you got to grow through it.
Yeah, the oak tree, if I'm not mistaken, is the Gaelic and Irish tree of life. If I'm not.
Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, and it didn't get that way by being all lovey-dovey. One more shout out to Featherheads in Chimney Rock, North Carolina. The place is awesome. If you guys get a chance, go in there. Tell Kimberly I said hello. I spent way too much money in that place, but you know what? I don't care. Like some people are like, well, what do shamans buy? Well, I bought a big old jawbone and some feathers and some stuff. So, okay, so we got some start comments that I can look at real quick. Linda Judd says, is this a new show for Katie Stafford? Yes, it is. It's going to be great. I'm not going to steal her thunder. Her first guest is going to be amazing, which means that she's going to have her on. So I have to wait even longer to try to get her on, or him, him or her. I can neither confirm nor deny. But yeah, please tune in for that. It's probably going to be an hour show, but knowing Katie, she's going to talk for 3. So yeah, I said it. I said it. Oh, we have another star. Good night. Good night, goat. Do we have any more starred? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And I did get a Bob Larson drum. Bob Larson is well known in this part of the Appalachians for his drum making and stuff, and he's no longer with us. So I got lucky. And babe, if you're still watching, if you want to bring that drum up or whatever,
I was going to ask, did you get a drum?
Yeah, I mean, I have another one.
Did.
Yeah, of course.
Somehow
I wasn't going to, but I got drawn to this one particular one, and Kimberly, the lady that owns the shop, she goes, "Do you know whose drum you just got?" I was like, "Look, yeah, I think it's Bob's." And then the whole story, but yeah, so I did. Wow. I also have another drum being made by my elder in the Hopi Nation. So hopefully sometime this summer, I'll be flying out to Second Mesa, Arizona, spending some time with the Hopi Nation out there.
Wow, that would be fantastic.
And picking. Wow, my wife is fast. Here she comes. with the drum that's on the other side, or the whole bag. Look at this; it's a whole bag of stuff. Oh, but yeah, it's gonna be great to get to spend some time out there with the Hopi tribe and do some ceremony with them. It's gonna be fun. So, what's in the shaman bag? We're gonna before we get back into the deepness. A jawbone, just saying.
What? You actually really did get a jawbone.
I was not kidding. What's in the shaman's bag? It's a jawbone. Ladies and gentlemen, I bought jawbones.
Now I know that you're not gonna put that in your medicine bag, right?
No, I gotta get a bigger medicine bag. And
he'll
then
have a thing like he'll be like blinging.
I'll be like, what was that rapper that's got the clock on him? I'll be that guy. Flavor Flav. That's right.
Flavor Flav.
I have a
Oh,
coyote tail because we all need a
wow.
little trickster in our life.
I think Kim said they got tons of them around there. You probably could have got one of those for free.
Well, you know what? I really didn't mind spending money in this lady's store.
I'm joking.
But yeah, so here's the drum.
Oh, wow. That's gorgeous.
Yep. So,
Wow. Turn around the backside. Wow. That's really nice.
yeah.
Wow. Super cool.
So, like I say, I wasn't going to get a drum because I have one being made, but I turned around, it was up on the wall. I'm like, mine, I have to. It called to me.
Yeah, that's pretty.
And a jawbone.
Yeah. And you said, and it called to you?
Yeah, it did. It did. So,
Okay. You knew
I
then.
could, yeah. I mean, because they
It's
had all
going to
kind of
work
drums.
through you.
Yeah. Can we hear it? Yeah. Give me a minute, and yeah, we'll do it. Don't tell me what to do, Skydoor Entertainment. Okay. So, you know what? I haven't even played it yet. Let's see what it sounds like together, shall we?
You've not played it yet?
I haven't played it yet. No. So let's see what we can do. Let me get over here by the microphone.
You gotta play some first.
Oh, that's an amazing sound. Oh, wow. Okay. That was
What skin is that?
Is it buffalo? Let me look at the tag. It is goat.
Wow.
I'm very impressed with that purchase, but I knew it was going to be great. You are a drummer too, so you can have more than one. I am a drummer. I've been a drummer for 20-something years. Thank you very much.
That's very, very cool.
Well, there's not a lot of call for shamanic drumming in heavy metal, and I play heavy metal, so. Anyway, so I hope you guys.
If you get into some of that Celtic metal, it is.
love
I love
Celtic
that
metal.
stuff.
Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, also remember hashtag protect your peace, all one word, all lowercase, to be entered in for a drawing for the book called The 4 Agreements. It will change your life. Trust me, it's an amazing book. And it's Toltec shamanic wisdom. And it's something that I teach all the time, these 4 agreements. But the way that he has it written in his book is amazing. A breakdown of it. It does kind of look like a phoenix.
When you like a goat means like sure-footedness, and they bring the symbolism. I'm trying to think, there's like a few different symbolisms of the goats. I know it's like energy and aspirations and something else. So there's a reason that you was drawn to that, and it was drawn to you.
Exactly. My wife says, by the way, Dina, we need a list of Celtic metal.
I like my Celtic. Actually, believe it or not, it's hard to believe. I actually was in one for a minute myself.
Nice.
As the lead singer for one. I didn't have time for it, but yes, I did.
My wife is Irish, so. Yeah, and we enjoy the Celtic metal. I it's not exactly Celtic, but we went to go see. Have you ever heard of the band Helung?
I love them. I absolutely love them. As a matter of fact, that's what I'm trying to find, somebody local that can play those. And I even told my friend, and they're fantastic. I mean, it is true heavy. I mean, it's true Celtic metal, but I'm like, no, I want to go more in this direction. And I said, you got to put down, the Marshalls and the orange crates, and we've got to go this direction.
Yeah.
So they are not willing to do that yet.
I
listen to like Lords of Iron, and just a lot of the different bands and stuff. I mean,
I surprised my wife with some very good tickets to Helung. They came to Asheville, North Carolina.
Wow, I'd love to have seen that.
Like I've only seen them. They go to Red Rock all the time, but this is the first U.S. tour that I've seen, and I'm like, all right. And I dropped a lot of money on really good seats, but I was not disappointed. Not disappointed.
Like Lefa and all, man, their music. If you guys haven't listened to this band, and when you go watch it, they have one that's on YouTube, and it's the extended version. Don't even take the time and watch the little one, which is still good though. Watch the full-on production, man. Just turn your lights out. If you can watch it on your larger TV, it's even better. I can't even imagine. What was the energy like inside of the auditorium when you went and seen them in concert? I bet that was off the hook.
How did my wife put it? I think she put it like it was like we went to a public ceremony.
Yeah, I bet it would be.
I mean, the guy,
like a ritual.
singer,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yep. He came out and saged everything before they even started.
They should.
And then, I mean, it was, oh my God. I'm glad. I mean, I love Helung, but, I'd rather spend money for like Amon Amarth or something.
I do love them though, but I studied Germanic people and Germanic languages, so of course I love their stuff.
Yeah, so Anna said, yeah, they did. They opened circle and closed circle. It was amazing. So I think we've had enough fun time. But we've got to get back to this. We got to get back to healing you the viewer, you, Dina, me. I have to heal on a daily basis. And we're talking about boundaries. And Godfather, I just read that in a private message, and that's kind of crazy. That's amazing. Apparently, we have over 206 live viewers right now. That is, I am blessed. I am a nobody
here. I jump on no makeup.
Hey, that's natural beauty.
No boundaries.
No. This whole show is about boundaries, and you just come on with no makeup.
It is what it is.
That's okay. It's natural beauty, and you're like 4'8", so I'm afraid of that. Yeah. If you're shorter than me, I'm scared of you.
Uh-oh. Dwarf mode.
Oh no. Oh, see, Carol says you look beautiful. There you go.
Open circle, close circle.
Yeah. But
I gave my dog a bash. He's trying to climb on me. No, you're good over there. My dog is so spoiled. I've got a heating pad and everything set up for her, and she's like, this isn't good enough.
Boundaries.
Boundaries.
No, I have no boundaries when it comes to my dogs or my animals. I don't care. Oh, they're the closest to unconditional love that a lot of people see in this world too. So they can get whatever they want.
They do. They love purely.
Yeah, and Marie says, "Oh, she hides. Oh, wait a minute.
There we go. It's moving so fast.
Hey, Godfather, I will. How about I let you produce the show? How about I do that and stop pushing buttons? Okay, I'll let you do your job.
Where did it go?
Would you like to be in charge for a while?
And Greg says, Brandon, you look better without your purple eyeliner.
That was my Purple Rain. That was my Prince days. Just saying. Anyway, getting back to Anne Marie, she says, when we heal ourselves, we can heal all those that follow. And it's true.
Yeah.
But again, boundaries. She hides the gold beyond the rainbow. Don't steal her lucky charms. Yes, Dina, I'm not going to steal your lucky charms.
I'm Scottish anyway.
Yeah, so her charms aren't very lucky.
They're Scottish.
They're
What
Scottish.
do you want? They're Scottish.
Only the Scots can. Hey, let's make this game where I take this stick and put this ball in a gopher hole, and let's play it for 12 hours.
Yeah, for hours.
Yeah, I'm gonna take this weird.
Let's make sure we grow the grass up really big.
And we're gonna grow the grass.
Put some sand and water around it.
Yeah, then we're just gonna hit this ball. Only the Scots. Only the Scots. But yeah, so personal healing. You know what? I actually feel like I need to ring my shamanic bell for this to clear out some negativity. I haven't rung this on the show either. I hope it sounds good.
I like a gremlin bell.
Oh, kind of. Small enough. But yeah, so where should we start? Should we start by, you know what? Here's what we're going to do. So boundaries are probably the number one thing that needs to be set into place before personal healing can even begin. And I say that because a boundary needs to be, I need to take 15 minutes a day for myself. And you have to set that firm boundary. I don't care what's going on. I don't care if the dumpster's on fire. That 15 minutes is your 15 minutes. Let it burn. What do you think about making stuff like that where you just have to take time for you?
It's essential. I mean, it is. It's essential. I think you see a lot of people that because they don't, it not only affects their mental health. I mean, it's just trickle down in all areas of their life. It's something just easy and simple. We're only talking 15 minutes.
Yeah.
That's really not a lot, a period of time, really.
And you need it, you've got to do it. And you start by doing, I don't know, you can start with 2 minutes a day, but set that boundary that this is going to be my time. Nobody is going to interfere with my time. And then you need to grow it a little bit, the more comfortable you get with it, but do not let those boundaries down and grow it up to 15 minutes a day. My God, you spend that long at the coffee maker at work.
And I think that might be why so many people end up finding themselves getting into their phones and stuff too. It's kind of like they're defragmenting over here versus, in general in life. But then that becomes, I think they get so used to thinking of that as being their downtime, they get hooked on that maybe. I don't know.
Well, I think phone use, when somebody is trying to decompress, is somebody's way of saying the mind is a neighborhood you don't want to go to alone. A lot of people are afraid to be with themselves. Well, guess what? At the beginning and the end, all you have is you. So you better like you. So put the damn phone down, for 15 minutes. That 15 minutes you're playing Candy Crush or whatever.
I have a rule. I saw it on some of the motivational videos, and then also I think it was Russell Brand or somebody. He's the funniest guy ever, but one of these videos. But it's where no matter what, don't pick up your phone when you wake up. Don't even put that thing next to your bed if you're one of those people that can't help but to do it. But wake up and wait until you get on it. Wait till you get on Messenger. Wait until you get hit by whatever it is that's out there for the day, and get yourself ready for the day.
And I'm pretty sure it was Russell Brand, because in his book about recovery and stuff, he talks about after the alcohol and the sex and the drugs were recovered, then he realized that he was addicted to his cell phone. And why he was addicted to that cell phone is because he needed that instant gratification of who likes me, who is on my Facebook, and a lot of us look at that. Who has liked my comment? Who put a heart? Who cares?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, if you can't love you, because you're looking for that affirmation from outside. and that's going to be very fleeting. You know, it's just
And
like a meteor in the sky. That's it.
yeah. And you can't expect people to be, and I've found that out myself. People will have you hit likes or whatever, etc., on their stuff, but then they want you. And you can't be upset by it or anything else, because I mean, I know that they understand that doing it helps their, their bands or whatever to get promoted and stuff. Because I've got upset about it a couple times. They understand that it does help their stuff to get promoted, but at the same time, they're not even thinking about that in terms of, oh, wow, I'm not going to help this person not get promoted. And it's not like they're going, that they're actively thinking not to do it. It's just, they just don't think about it. And sometimes you can't even get offended by the fact that somebody just doesn't think about it. It's like you said, it just is what it is.
I mean, and you can't. I really didn't want to get on my Facebook and social media soapbox, but here we go. Social media is not real, ladies and gentlemen. No matter how much you want it to be, they have filters for a reason. That beautiful couple that you see over here at the beach with their dog, their life is a train wreck, but you don't see it on the fake social media. People put way too much. Oh my God, look at these people, and I'm going to compare myself to them because they have a filter that makes them look amazing. Well, behind the scenes, they're missing 12 teeth and work at the Waffle House.
They're taking out loans for their gender reveal parties.
Right. Their appearance is like they're living here, but they're more in debt than you are, and they're miserable.
Yep.
Why would we want to compare ourselves to something fake when we could compare ourselves to our true self, which is something beautiful?
Yeah. Because you went through a lot of shit to get to be you.
and you are you. You are your trauma. You are stronger because of your trauma. You are your past, present, and future. You are beautiful. So why don't you like your own Facebook? Just a thought.
That's true.
The facade eludes the masses, but true life eludes no one. That's a very good quote. It's a very good quote. Because real life will smack you in the face. Facebook won't, because Facebook and all the social media is not real. And we were talking about masks earlier. All social media is the mask that somebody puts on because, hey, look at me. I want you to like me.
It is. And, I see a lot of people that even get, I don't know, you just have certain people that have to go do these things because everybody else is doing this thing. So they have to be, whatever, the place to eat or the place to go and kind of, matter of fact, that they've just opened up a new restaurant downtown. I'm kind of upset about it. I mean, it took almost $250,000 worth of free grant money to open this place up. But the average meal is $350 for one person. I said, well, hold on. Why are we taking us people? Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I said, this is a place that people aren't going to be going to. It's not like you're going to downtown Cincinnati here. You're going to Vegas or whatever. And even with that, you're expecting, and I don't do it, but you're expecting a nice meal with a valet and a coat check and all this. I said, nobody's going to be doing it. I said, the only people that are going to be going downtown to eat at that restaurant is somebody that's taking an entire salary for the week to go say that they went to that restaurant. I said, that's crazy. I said, just to put a post on Facebook that you went to that restaurant, and guarantee you if somebody goes, they're not going to buy the cheaper meal. They're going to make sure that they get the nicer meal because they're going to worry that everybody on Facebook will see the picture and go, oh, they bought the cheaper meal. You're right. What you're saying about that. You really are.
It is. It is true. But,
I'll be first one to say I buy discount groceries. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Yeah. Let's see here. Penny says, yes, it does. I wanted to get your comment, but now I can't remember what.
Yeah, you're right, Tabitha. She said people are losing their homes left and right. That's excessive. Yeah, and it upsets me that they took $250,000 of taxpayer grant-free deferred taxes money to do it. We're paying for it, but we can't eat it. She said, if it's not, what did George say?
If it's not real, tell that to one of your
real.
guest speakers. That's not coming. We're not getting into that on this podcast. Facebook and social media is real. No, it is all an illusion. And if you fall into that trap, I'm sorry for you, because
life is just a fantasy.
Facebook and social media is not real life. It is not real. I am real. I have skin. I am real. Facebook is in the internet. Nobody is in the internet. Therefore, it is not real.
Yep. I think the cue or the clue in all of it is that it's called virtual.
Right. It all happens in a virtual space. I don't know what the dictionary explanation for virtual is, but I'm pretty sure it's not real.
Not real. It's virtual.
now that we have reestablished that. But boundaries. Yeah, and again, like I say, when you set your boundaries, people will come after you and people will smear you, and that's okay. Again, it's not personal. Excuse me, got a little cough there.
And in some ways, actually, I think that also falls into a realm of like spiritual warfare. When you set those boundaries and people do keep coming back and stuff, I mean, it really does. It wears you down, and you can set those boundaries and then it's going to just like a bad thought or whatever, and then it'll keep coming back at you to see if, was Brandon serious about those boundaries? Let's see, or was Dina serious, or was Anna or Linda, whomever, were they serious? I think that does kind of happen just to see how much that you have. I don't know if you call it getting identified with yourself. How would you explain that?
Well,
how much you've got to know yourself or something?
How true you are to yourself, I guess it would be.
That'd probably be.
Like I'm having, I have a boundary that is set, and it is being tested as we speak. And no, I will not waver. I will not falter. And if you do not like it, well, not my problem. And yes, I said what I said, and you can quote me.
And you know what? That is, in many ways, I think it is like a spiritual battle, because that way, that is, I think almost everything's spiritual warfare. Yeah, Greg says, yes, it is spiritual warfare. I really do. I know people kind of give me a hard time, like, you think everything's spiritual warfare? Yeah. And I think, if someone or something, which, things work through us too, but if something is trying to push you beyond your comfort zone and beyond what area that you feel comfortable within, and your working area, that gets you out of a comfort zone, which usually has a tendency to get us unbalanced. It has a tendency to get us frazzled, and just, the whole toxic or negative type vibrations can start coming at us. And, then we're easier targets, as far as for the rest of them out there, if we're disheveled.
And, and it's bad. A lot of my viewers will start seeing some things happening here pretty soon about boundaries. It just feels like boundaries are going to be tested, and just remember the old fat gnome said, "Stick to your boundaries, no matter what." At the end of the day, when you lay down your head, you may lay next to your wife or your husband or your partner or whatever, but you're alone inside yourself. Yeah. If you can sleep at night with you, then you've done the right thing for the day.
Yeah. I do agree with that.
Tabitha, yeah. You see the one that I was going to put up. Yep. So we'll pull up Tabitha's. We'll pull up Tabitha's quote here, or not quote. Nothing tests boundaries like a narcissist. Can you say it louder for the people in the back?
Well, I agree on that one. And
but again, narcissistic personality disorder or tendency, it's not personal. It may feel personal and targeted and attacked, but it's not personal. It's because that person is dealing with something, their own demons, their own whatever. And even though I've had my run-ins with narcissistic people, and it hurts. It hurts to the bone. Until you realize it's not personal.
Yeah.
They're dealing with something.
And that really is what I've been trying to explain to my daughter. It's hard to explain to another person who loves, or actually even once they've got past the point of loving somebody that's a narcissist, it's very hard to explain to somebody, especially if you've allowed yourself to be traumatized by that person. Then you try to figure out that there was something good about this person, or I wouldn't have kept letting myself be put through that. But the only problem is then when you have a narcissist, then the narcissist goes, oh, they're trying to see what was good about me, so I still have a little bit of a chance with a little open window crack where I can get in there, and then I can get right back in there, and then they start the trauma all over again. And they're using you. They'll take your time. They'll take your energy. You can give. You can have a bag of walnuts. Say you got a pound of walnuts, and you can give somebody 3/4 of your pound of walnuts. It's like that, and they're going to go, yeah, but you know what? I actually might need, for whatever reason, they're going to need more walnuts. And they could have a tree right here. They could go get their own walnuts. They don't want their walnuts. They want yours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that well but statement.
I'm so sorry, Tracy. I'll be praying for you and your daughter because I genuinely know this struggle. I'll just put it out there. My daughter went and got a protection order against her ex years ago, and the girl talked her out of it. And Raina got one, which she wasn't supposed to be doing before the next hearing. And this has just kept going and kept going. Well, then my daughter went to go appeal it. And instead, the girl's dad beat my daughter up and assaulted her. And she was afraid to go, appeal it because they threatened me, and which I didn't know. But, now I come to find out, he's like, you want this to happen to your mom and all. And so we've been going through this constantly, Tracy. So the best thing that I can tell you to do is, even if your daughter, as bad as it is, whatever it is that you're dealing with, if there's other people that you dislike that's in that thing, do still respect the fact that your child still has love for that person, even though they're being abused. And even though you're a mom, you want to pick up that person and beat them with a Chevy, whatever it is. But it's like, just appreciate the fact that of the love and stuff that they have, and just kind of be gentle on how you walk it, because I'll tell you what, swear to goodness, the universe will reveal it all, and the universe will make it happen the way it's supposed to happen.
I think Penny said it best. Wait, my motto. Yeah, go to the here. This one that I'm about to start. I just started. If you can see it, there, Dawn. Yep. Like I tell people, if you don't like what you see, then move the F off. And I don't care if you like me or not.
What is that song? Said. If you don't like what you see here.
Yep. Don Corleone says, my motto, if my life and breath was determined on the happiness of others, I would have been dead during my mother's labor pains. I was the 12-pound baby. Yes. And you still have the 12-pound baby head there, Don. Oh, but I mean, it is. And like I said, as far as like seasons in life, like I'm going through a season right now, and it is going to be the planting season where I go through the storm. However, I will be a strong oak tree on the other end.
Fantastic.
And that's another thing that people can quote. Kathy says, growth is not comfortable, but we decide when and how we grow. No one can decide for us unless we let them. good. That's a boundary.
Even letting them is deciding.
Mm-hmm.
I think though there's a lot of situations to where, and I think it is where you said about it's personal inside of yourself. There's a lot of people, and also goes back with the perspective. They don't even have a clue that they're crossing boundaries. Doesn't even occur to them.
Yeah.
Doesn't even, a light bulb doesn't even go off in their head. Does not click. They do not register what you're going through or how much they're asking for you. Does not click. And in return, they're not going to return it either.
No, because they're not concerned about your boundaries. They're generally speaking, they're concerned about what they want, their wants, their needs. And if they can be if they can be concerned about what they want or what they feel is right, well, how come you can't do the same thing? Set your boundaries.
Yeah, and then you'll get balked at when you do that too. You'll be the bad guy and this, and this in their narrative.
Yep, and there's a lot and that happens.
Doesn't mean you have to read their book.
No, there's people writing I'm sure there's people writing chapters about me, but I don't get that newsletter. So
right.
You know, I just keep on trucking and try to, do the best I can with what I have. But at the end of the day, when I go to bed with myself, and I love myself.
Yeah.
Oh,
that is true.
What do we got here? Anne-Marie, happiness comes from within. The more you search outside of yourself, the further you get from it. So true. And Carol Garcia says, don't let the door hit you.
Yeah, that's very wise.
Yes. So, I mean, that's okay, Don. I get it. But it is, and it all just boils down to, and we got like 15 minutes left. I didn't think I'd pull a 2-hour show out of this. But, Dina for the save.
There's a lot of people out there, though, that honestly, it's a subject. I mean, you see it on a lot of different memes and stuff in different ways, but there's not really a lot of people that need to communicate and discuss this and need to be told the message that you're giving people tonight, that it's okay to think about yourself.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, it's more than okay. It's how we were programmed. You want to say it.
Yeah.
This is the real us, people.
This is your life.
We're not selfish because we keep our boundaries. You're selfish because you want to stomp on my boundaries.
Yeah, I fully agree with that.
Yeah, and if you just tell yourself that, you take care of you. Ain't nobody else gonna take care of you. I mean, so figuratively speaking, you're gonna, you're gonna have wonderful people come into your lives that are gonna help, but they don't always stick around forever. They come in for a lesson, and then it's time for them to move on.
Yeah, I had a friend of mine. She always said that people are in your life as long as you or they, as long as there's something to be learned. And then they'll gently go away, or they will. Sometimes the going away isn't always gentle. And, a lot of people get upset, oh my gosh, I can think of lots of horrible ways that relationships end. I mean, it could end by death, or it could end by divorce, or, it could end by your child getting a job. It doesn't really end like in that, but the aspect of it ends. So maybe your child gets a job and moves off somewhere or whatever. But, things can end in certain ways, but when it ends, there's a reason, or at least just the current state of it can end. Yeah, there's always reasons for it. It doesn't mean that it can't happen again, but maybe not.
Right. And I like how you brought up the word divorce. Sadhguru, who is if y'all are not familiar with Sadhguru, he is an amazing mystic. Check him out. But he was talking about divorce, and everybody sees divorce as bad or whatever. Well, divorce is neither bad nor good. So a lot of the things that we see that are horrible or bad, in and of itself, it's not bad. Like for somebody, the divorce may be great. For somebody, it may be horrible. But it all boils down to your perception and how you want to let yourself feel about, and a situation. Because like technically divorce is neither bad nor good. No,
No,
you know.
it's just an event.
Yeah. And a lot of the bad things that happen in our lives and half truths, which are dangerous, more dangerous than I think a full lie, and stuff like
Yeah,
that. That
absolutely. Absolutely.
oh, you know,
Absolutely.
that is just the wind and the thunderstorm that grows the oak. It's neither good nor bad if you sit down and think, A, it is not personal, and B, why am I reacting the way that I am? So there you get your own personal growth out of. Oh, hey, the man behind the curtain, ladies and gentlemen.
I was like, what just
Bye.
happened?
Whenever you come in on a cell phone, it automatically puts you up on screen.
Oh, there went the hot air balloon.
Yeah, what? Squirrel. But it is all the bad, quote unquote bad or whatever, and all the trauma is nothing more than strengthening those roots for the next storm that's going to be a little bit worse because it always is, but 10 times more fruitful at the other end.
Yeah. And sometimes really dragging something out removes any opportunity of it becoming something different later.
Right.
My sister and brother-in-law, and I'm telling you what, they were really the cutest couple. They really were. And I mean, they had 18 years old. They had a $160,000 home. They worked and did everything that they were doing, but they just weren't right. It just got to where it was this. They aren't together anymore. And I'm going to tell you what, they're on the phone 24/7. She's with somebody and they both moved on, but they're best friends now. And they're back to being friends again. Yep. Yeah. And my cousin, her and her husband did it. My ex-husband and I, we're friends. I mean, we're not like best friends like that, but we're friends. But, there's other people that go through, a divorce or even other type relationships. I mean, whether it's losing a job or whether it's stopping a contract or maybe an event or something that you have together or whatever. At some point, it seems like dragging it on makes it irreconcilable. I mean, just at some point, and then you do it and get over it. Like you said, focus on yourself and get happy and get healthy again too, though. Don't do like say my daughter's done. Who cares what anybody said? Oh, this person cheated or that person cheated. Oh, she stole my truck and traded my dog, whatever, or
right.
Oh man, he turned around and he did this, and that. Like, who cares?
Okay, and
live now.
Yeah,
yeah, go live now.
And the people that want to drag things on or get mad when you just refuse to respond to anything because that's your boundaries or whatever it may be, well, let them drag it on by themselves.
Yeah,
because you don't need
there's a lot of people that get true sincere energy from that struggle. And it might wear on them and it might affect them, but there's some people, and I'm going to tell you, I can attest to it. I've met them. There are some people out there that they are energized by it, by the struggle and by the arguing and the, just whatever it is. I can't do it, but there are some. Wow, she wrote a paragraph there.
Hold on, I know. So we're gonna read fast. Kimberly Horn says, I learned this time and time again. The last time was when Scott was going through his cancer, and I thought we'd have emotional support from certain POE. I'm kidding, people. Yeah,
okay.
I had to pick on her.
Vanna, you missed some letters there.
Sure, yeah, Vanna, can you turn over the rest of the letters there? And I was heartbroken when it never came, but then a year later, they had their own cancer scare, and we were the first people they called asking for our support. Like Dina Deems said, they didn't even realize that that they were like that. Yeah. It is what it is.
It didn't affect their life, so they didn't remember.
No.
It affected you. It didn't affect them.
And then we all our life lessons, and then Anne
Us
Marie
too.
Young. I like it.
It builds character.
Learn to dance when it rains. I try. That's why I say that at the end of every show.
You know what? That's interesting. She said that. My Uncle Kelly, when I went through divorce, and I lived in a very nice home. I won't go out into all this and that. Well, various things happened from someone I dated after I divorced, and I lost 2 homes. So I ended up, my cousin had bought my grandma's house, and I asked, is there any way that I can put this stuff in your basement? It was a huge basement. So I put my stuff in there. Well, it was one of those big octopus furnaces. And I was down in the basement, and I just started looking around, and there was pictures of my kids. There were things from just events and just different stuff. And I started crying and crying and crying. Didn't know anybody could hear me, right? Well, I go upstairs. Well, my Uncle Kelly had a surgery and stuff that went bad, and he was paralyzed. So he was in a hospital bed. And I'd always stop and talk to him and stuff on my way out.
Right.
Well, I stopped, and he talked to me, and he said, you know what? And he got divorced, before that. And then the woman he got with after that, she had a heart attack and passed. So he, went through a lot of things. He said, I'm going to tell you something. He said, anytime that you get a chance to dance, you go and dance. I don't care if you're alone and do this and that. I did not know at the moment that he told me that he used to be a competition dancer. I had no idea, like the depth of what he was really telling me and how much it meant. And she's absolutely right. I don't care what you're going through, grab you up some tennis shoes or some Vans or whatever and go dancing. I've learned that. Be Billy Idol, dancing with myself. Oh.
That's right. I mean, sometimes I dance and I do stupid dances, whether I'm by myself, and sometimes I can feel my wife's eyes rolling, but you know what? I don't care. I want to dance. I'm going to dance. And for the last minute, we unfortunately lost all the hashtags that everybody put in. So if you could re-put up hashtag protect your peace as we round out the last 5 minutes so we can get everybody re-entered in the drawing. Technical difficulties in the virtual world that doesn't exist. Just throw that out one more time. I dance like an epileptic on meth. My God, the visual I just got for that.
I had to not laugh while you was talking.
I just, this is the people that we work for. Is what it is. And I love every minute of it. Folks, I hope you guys have enjoyed the show. I really had no idea how this was going to go. And then Dina jumped in with the life raft. And
anytime, man, you're cool as can be.
Well, thank you. And I knew that with your spiritual experiences and the druid side of things would bring another side. We're not hashtagging any balls anytime soon. FYI. I work for this guy. Hosting. My God, at my eye.
But he just bought a drum.
I did. I kind of want to bang on.
That is fantastic, man.
I just want to bang on the drum all day.
Drum all day.
Oh, I promise you guys, I'm going to the eye doctor tomorrow at 9 a.m. to the VA, and we're gonna fix this NyQuil situation I got going on.
Yeah, because we're not trying to hashtag that anytime soon.
Thank you for that one. Thank you. So, remember, we're not hashtagging balls anytime soon. God almighty. I'm telling you, that sweat lodge has fried my brain. We're cooking some people up there.
You need to get like some. Actually, that's what I have here. Get some hibiscus flowers. Get the hibiscus, and if you have any type of Hispanic store around, you'll have them nearby you. But get some of those and boil them just like a tea. I've been purging myself with that because of my sinus drainage. I'm doing it to my eyes and everything. And what that does is it kicks back the mucus. So I'm hoping I'm not doing it as bad as I was. And ginger, of course, I got more ginger. I mean, a sushi bar right now.
Love it. I love it. No, I think it's because I had gravel in my eye from from the old sweat lodge. And the fact that I was standing almost inside the sacred fire and I was getting burned. It was so much fun. Oh, that reminds me. If you're ever working with sacred fire,
You guys sure you sound like you was at Bohemian Grove.
if you're ever working with a sacred fire, just remember, ask the fire's permission and it won't burn you.
That's what they
I
say.
missed that one step. I missed that step. And it was like, nope, you didn't ask permission. I'm going to burn you. Oh, Lord, need some local raw honey. Yeah, I got some. Thank you. Last opportunity for hashtag protect your peace, all lowercase, one word. Again, we will be giving away a copy of the 4 Agreements, which is a Toltec shamanic take on changes that you should make in your life to help better yourself. One of which is never take anything personally. And in this book, he goes as far as to say, if you get shot in the head, it's not personal. I mean, that's an extreme example, but it is true of how nothing is personal. Yeah, great book. And it's also on, what is that? Amazon. Audible. It's on Audible. It's good. If you don't like words like me. Oh, Greg, you're an amazing host is what you are. I'm just a guy trying to be a guy trying to be you.
No, I think he's a great host.
Okay. Last chance.
You're very
hashtag.
real, which is fantastic.
I can only be who I am. And it's taken me years to get to be this way. Years of introspection and trauma and people trying their best to destroy me, which only brought me back stronger. I mean, throw me to the wolves and I'll come back leading the whole damn pack. And it's true.
It's one of those, how you like me now?
Yeah. Hey, you thought I was bad then. Just wait. Okay. So I think we've had enough time. Hashtag protect your peace.
It's hard to be at home.
Yep. Congratulations, Kathy. Please send me your address, your social, your firstborn sons, because it's tax time and I'm hurting people. I mean, just send me your address so I can get you a copy of this book. And if I'm able, I'm going to send you. There's also like a companion book that goes with it, like that breaks it down even further. My goal for this is once you read it and once you get it down, pass it on to somebody else because it's that good of a book. So as we,
I gotta ask you one question. If it's tax time and you want write-offs and you want more sons, I'm available, but I need child support.
You're cute, but you're not that cute, buddy.
Yeah, I'm cute.
Yeah. Oh, the people that I work for.
You could have Kathy on after she reads your book, see how it affected her.
Oh, good call. Kathy, if you're up for that after you read the book, maybe in the fall or the winter this year, we'll do that. So I am 2 minutes over, which is amazing because I didn't think I'd make a 15-minute show. So Dina, again, thank you so much for jumping in with the life raft. People, remember, I don't care what it is, what people tell you, or how they're trying to besmirch your name. It's your boundaries. You stick to them. And if you don't like them, call me because I will help you get to that point to where you love yourself and you love your boundaries because it's worth it. You're worth it. I love you. And remember, it's not about surviving the storm, but it's how you dance in the rain. And I need, I have Carol. She always helps me close my show. And I saw it a second ago, and I can't close my show. There it is. Remember to smile. Thank you, Carol. I love each and every one of you. Buckle up. We've got a ride coming up, I feel. But we're all in it together. We're all family. I love each and every one of you, and I will see you guys for a special Shaman Sundays, possibly on Saturday, because we will be coming to you live from the Paracon. Oh, so whew, I got a lot of work to do. Love you guys. Bye.